Okay, so welcome. First call kickoff time. So I have a couple of questions, a couple of thought starters for you. Can you think of something that's happened in the last 2 days, Monday through Wednesday? Where are we now? Wednesday, that you thought, okay, I need some help with this, or what's been coming up this week?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, Ella, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm working on a digital course for myself, and I have a few questions regarding the course. So this is it. This is my dilemma. Can I ask the questions or?
Yeah, feel
Yeah.
free. Hi, Vic.
Yeah. Hi. In fact, this course is for course creators, and I want to show them, I want to teach how to build a digital course on Squarespace platform. Now, the thing is that in order to sell a course, you have to have a website, even one-page website. It just, the course has to be attached somewhere. It should be somewhere, it should be the sales page. So I'm just wondering, if it would be better to do two separate courses, one just design your one-page website, and the other one design your course, or just to put everything together. So a course, how to build your course, how to design and sell your course on Squarespace. And then inside the course for course creators, and then inside the course, there will be a tutorial how to create this one-page website, and later on how to create the course itself. The selling page, sales page.
I'd put them both together if I were you, because if you build on Thinkific as a platform, you create your course first, and then you have to create the page to market it.
Yeah.
So the two kind of have to go hand in hand, don't they? But then, having said that, you could then sell the one-page website course as a standalone course on its own.
Because I was thinking that, some people, maybe they already have a website.
Yeah, maybe they do, but I would still package it together, I think.
Together, okay.
Yeah. But that's just, I made my own online courses, so.
Yeah, there is a lot of people that they want to build the website themselves, especially right now when the platforms are so advanced, and it's really too easy to do it. Just you need some time, and it's good when you have a guide as well to speed up the process. Anyway, okay, so this is perfect. And another question about lead magnet, because I want to have a course focused lead magnet. I want to attract, people who are interested in building their own course. So I was thinking about what would you prefer to get? Copy template. So what copy to put on the homepage of your website or a sales page of your course? Or is it better what elements, what things are necessary on your sales page, so the structure of the sales page? What would be more beneficial? What would you?
So I have some thoughts on this, and feel free to jump in, because this is, again, this space is really just like shaping for you and with you. So I want this to be super helpful for everybody, and we're still I'm still figuring out what is the most helpful thing. So the first few sessions is going to be us sussing this out together to understand what's going to be the most helpful thing. But from my coaching head, it's like knowing the stuff that we talked about last week about your client.
I haven't had chance to watch.
Oh, okay. So I would recommend to watch the day 2 session from last week about your client.
Is it still available?
Yeah. I'm going to put it into the classroom area in the school community, so you can go and rewatch it.
Okay.
Because I think when you watch that, it will answer so many of your questions from a different perspective. Okay. Because the strategy is great. It's literally like, these are just questions we can answer very, very quickly. Do a lead magnet, do it on this topic, blah, 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 put it up, see what happens. So that's like it's almost like that's the tactical answer, but the tactical answer won't give you the insight that you need necessarily to develop your offering more strongly. You need to go one level below the tactical into understanding. I'm just going to mute one sec. Into understanding your client and the journey. I think it's more about the client journey and where you want them to end up and how. It's just a different question. Does that make sense? And I know that's probably not like super specific in terms of
like the specific, I would like just to clear, get clear on this and move on.
Yeah, exactly. But until you are clear on your client and the journey they're taking through your lead magnets, what's the lead magnet for, right? And you know this because this is your jam.
This is to attract people who will later on benefit from my course.
Sure, but what specific action are they taking after that? What is the dots, and how do they match up into your sale, into buying?
Like the thing is that when they opt into the lead magnet, automatically they will be on my email list, and once the course will be ready, I can invite them to to take the next step.
Yeah, awesome. So you know the steps.
Yeah,
but it's like, what is the content that's going to make them more likely to do it?
Exactly.
Yeah, but you won't know this. You cannot guess.
That's why I wanted to check here,
Yes. Of course, and use this like crowdsource ideas from everyone here. 100%. You can be like, hey, Natasha, you look like an ideal client. Tell me what you would love. That's going to be helpful for Natasha. It may not be helpful for like 1,000 people. So I want you to that's the way to kind of not use this room, but like make the most effective time spent here. It's like crowdsource from each other 100% as individual people, because we're all going to have great ideas and so many people are going to give you great ideas. But there's also this like dissatisfaction that we experience when we're asking about the strategy, and we will never
sorry, I was thinking it's the group is for brainstorming and getting feedback. Sorry.
No, it definitely is. And I don't mean to say it's not, but I think it's more helpful when you can brainstorm collectively, but also know that it's like the question you're asking, why are you asking it? That's really interesting.
Because I found two are beneficial, and I just wanted to check to find a confirmation in my thoughts.
Yeah, of course.
But not to worry. Sorry.
You haven't done anything wrong. You haven't done anything wrong at all. It's more just like whenever we seek confirmation from other people, it's because we're not clear on something for ourselves.
Yes, it's true. I'm not clear. That's why I wanted to.
Yeah. But like getting clear for yourself and doing that work is the work, unfortunately. Plus with the support, right? I know this is not what you want to hear, because it sucks and it's hard, and it's much harder to just guess and be like, ta-da, this is what I think you'll love, and then look at the data. It's painful, but it's the only way, because your clients will tell you by what they do. Does that make sense? So we can't know ahead of time. Does anyone else want to add something? I feel like I've just like smacked Ella down. That was not my intention at all. So any insights or anything?
It makes more sense, definitely, when you've watched the stuff from last week. Yeah, I think that would be really beneficial, because it is, like you were saying, about getting clear in your mind what your offering is going to be and who your ideal client is, because then you can really tailor that lead magnet offering towards those people. So, yeah. But no, I haven't got anything to bring to the meeting today because I've not done anything since last week on working on my business because all these clients got in my way. It's very rude.
Ooh. How dare they?
I know, right?
Ridiculous clients.
It's one of the hardest things, isn't it? But I've been squishing the week because I'm going away tomorrow. So
lovely. Yeah. That sounds nice. Anyone else been up to anything else? Got your coffees? Natasha, you are sideways right now. I'm trying to like see where you are. Are you in your office?
I'm on my phone because my laptop, I'm in my kind of home office, or spare room, dumping ground. No, it's 6 a.m. here, so I might have a little girl waking up in a minute and I have to deal with her, but it's fine. But yeah, no, everything's good with me. I haven't got anything to ask this week either. I just wanted to kind of drop in and listen to everybody else and get some motivation to get me started on my day. But I'll definitely have lots of questions coming up. But yeah, just wanted to kind of get involved and see what's going on for the first session. So I haven't got any burning questions for today. But just love to listen to everyone else, get to know everyone else's businesses, and I'm really looking forward to this group. So thanks so much for starting it, Meg. I'm super excited.
At the risk of sounding like a dodgy networker, should we just go around and like introduce?
It's a very good idea, Vic. And one had not crossed my mind. Please, let's do that.
We don't. I mean, I know Pete pretty well, but I don't know anyone else. I'll start then, yeah.
Take it away.
I'm just taking over the whole meeting. Sorry. So I'm Vic. I do. I'm like a technical business consultant. I have a couple of different businesses, but the technical business consultancy is the one I want to push. That's what I'm doing with this group. Listening to Meg's course last week really made me want to kind of elevate my client base and go for clients who've got much more financial backing than the current clients I work with. So my offering is for like a business in a box. So it would be somebody who would have their idea, but they've been out of business, been out of the corporate market for a long time. Perhaps a mum whose kids have grown up and they're just getting back into doing stuff for themselves. So my business in a box idea is everything they need. So website set up, all your online systems set up, your branding done, and then also your any systems you need, so CRM systems, all of that in processes in place for one fee. And yeah, obviously I'd be outsourcing things like headshots, and because I'm not a photographer, and other services that I'd need to outsource. So that's kind of my business and my background. And I'm based in the UK, weirdly about 40 miles from Meg, and I didn't know her before I did the course last week. So it's a bit random.
Mute. Thank God, my mute button. Ella, do you want to introduce yourself? We're going to go in order of how I see you on my. Oh my God, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, so just very quickly, my name is Ella. I'm based in Dublin, Ireland. I'm a Squarespace web designer for female entrepreneurs. Yeah, and right now I'm working on a digital course for myself.
Thanks. Natasha.
Hi, I'm Natasha. I live out in Colombia at the moment, but I'm originally from Surrey, sunny Surrey. I'm an art photographer, and a year or so ago, I launched a business selling art to hotels, businesses, interior designers, and it's art for residential. And and the idea is to create sanctuary around your art. My business is called Sanctuary Art Studios, and it's all kind of like mindful, holistic art, which is, nods to kind of environmental psychology, color psychology, feng shui, and all of this kind of alternative thinking around environment. Well, it's not alternative thinking anymore. Kind of thinking around making a happy and healthy space for you, whether it's in your work or home, via art. Sorry, a little bit. I haven't even had my first coffee. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, so I apologise.
Did it? You got through without coffee. I'm well impressed.
Sorry.
Thank you. And Natasha's art is just go check out the website. It's so beautiful. Thank you. Pete, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Pete from Red Kite SEO, and basically I just help improve people's websites so they get found at the top of Google. I do this search engine optimization, and it's just along the lines of, how would you like 30 calls each month, coming from your website. My kind of business model is really trying to, after last week, just finding the right level of client for ongoing monthly revenue, and how I do that is just through SEO services that I offer. So yeah, that's me. Thank you. Nice to meet you all.
Thank you. And where are you based, Pete?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm based in the UK. So yeah.
You in Birmingham? No. Birmingham?
No. But my accent is northern. So yeah, I live in South Yorkshire. So, yeah.
Oh, South Yorkshire. All right. Sorry, I couldn't place it. All right. Thanks. Thank you. Lena. Is it Lena or Lena? I don't even know. I'm sorry. I can't hear you.
Lena.
Oh,
Can you hear me
Lena.
now?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to meet all of you. So my name is Lena, and I am a personal and career development coach, and I live in Abu Dhabi in United Arab Emirates. And I have been coaching for about 3 years, and after approximately 1 year of free coaching, I started working with organization, they are kind of a coaching platform specifically for career. So I kind of naturally niche down to more of career coaching. I do that most of the time. And I have been working with one of the government entities here to deliver some of their coaching programs for one-on-one coaching session for their employees, which has been great. I love, the kind of the easiness of it, because I don't have to go and sell, because they do everything. I just let them know when I'm available and I've come to do the sessions. However, of course, it's very limited financially. So I haven't sold any coaching packages by myself, for myself. I'm always working as a contractor for organizations where I go to create. So I would love to kind of focus more on kind of selling my own packages by myself, and maybe getting at least 3 high ticket clients until the end of the year. That's the goal that I'm working for. And yeah, later on, maybe a course about some career and career advancement. And that's me. Thank you.
Thank you. Love it. Love it. I love that we've got some representation around the world. Nice, hot, sunny places. It's actually nice here today in the UK, surprisingly. Oh, my order's gone around. Okay, Loretta, you are next. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Loretta. I am a transformational life coach. I'm qualified about 3 months ago, so I'm just starting out. Basically, I've got a 4-hour program that I'm selling, which basically helps move on from trauma, and then you move on from that and working out what goals you want and things like that. That's me, really. I'm in Gloucestershire, but I'm just starting out, so it's all new. I'm learning everything from scratch.
Nice. Thank you so much. So nice to have you here. Joe, the inimitable Joe Miner.
Oh,
Take it away.
yeah. Joe Miner Coaching. I'm a small business coach. I'm from Michigan in the United States. And I help people. I specialize in profit acceleration. So, look at the parts of the profit and loss statement that they can then work on, right? The revenue, and then cutting their expenses. So that's what I do. And still, I've only been doing this for a little over 3 months. I've come from a manufacturing background and worked my way up through management that way. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks. And thank you so much for the suggestion, Vic, that we do this, because this was very helpful. and useful. So I think also what would be really fun is if you want to drop in the chat or just unmute and tell me and everyone and sort of declare what is your money revenue goal, not by the end of this year. I want to kind of stretch out the timeline like we talked about a bit last week, to create the space for us to create things. Because in my experience, it's super helpful having a money goal. It's super helpful having a time deadline, but sometimes it's not. So you just have to know yourself and how you work best. So what would be your like delightful money revenue total? And let's say you can just play around with what feels good. Like, is it a 12-month period? Is it this time next year? Is it by the end of next year? Is it by the end of this year? Doesn't matter. But whatever feels more fun and kind of enjoyable to you. If you've thought about it. If you haven't thought about it, maybe we can do some brainstorming around that and around goal setting. So have you got some ideas in your heads already of how much you had said you wanted to make this year? Maybe that would be helpful to start as a starting point. Don't be shy.
I'll go if no one else will. So I've written it on a piece of paper, therefore it must be true. So yeah, the plan is to get over 100k income a year. Let me just find the relevant page in my notebook. So yeah, I was looking at doing perhaps 2 client packages a month once everything's there and up and running. So that would be a take home for me of 10k a month.
Okay. By what date? So let's start from now as day zero.
Yeah. So by the end of Q1 next year.
Okay, so by March, January, February, March. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So March 2024. Within that time, from now to end of March, 100k?
No. No, to be able to get like 2 clients a month on that 10k package.
Got you. So okay.
So I'll be earning 10k a month by that point.
Okay. So what would be the money goal?
So as in the total money goal for the end of March.
Yeah.
I would say probably 20k.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. Natasha, 50k by end of December next year. Okay, awesome. 50k. So that is how many months is that?
Are we starting from now? So no,
Yeah,
are we including October, November? Yeah. All right, I'll work it out. Is it you want the monthly revenue?
No, this is just
no, month, just a fun thing.
Yeah, just a figure.
60 to 12.
March. Yeah, so 50k over however 14 months or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool, thank you. Anyone else feeling brave enough to declare it? Nothing's going to be held against you. If you don't make it, you're not going to get in trouble with the universe.
I would like to get to 100k in a year from now. So nice. October next year, 100k.
Okay, cool. Okay, 12 months. Awesome. Pete, I know you had your hand up.
Yeah, I mean, my kind of aims this year was to just have a consistent 4k take home each month by the end of the year. I'm actually running behind on that because I've had clients come on board, but a couple of clients left. A higher paying client downgraded their services just due to dynamics in their business. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a wave this year, but next year, by the end of 2024, I want to be 120k income a year, obviously minus overheads like that.
Yeah, so this is like, we're talking total pie. Yeah, lovely. And Joe, 100k from now until July. Okay, so that's however long that is. 100k dollars. Nice.
I think it's about 8 months, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so.
Okay, cool. Loretta, do you have awesome. 40 by next year, end of December. Awesome. Everyone shared. Ella, do you have one? Oh, 50k by next December. 50k next December. Okay, awesome. So the purpose of this exercise is kind of two-folded, two-handed. It's to say, this is what I want in my business. This is what my business is for. So it's like, on the one hand, this is my business goal. This is how my business is going to be valued by me and by my clients. So it's really, really useful, because without it, we can't then cascade down to create the plan of what to do today. So we need it as an anchor. We do not need it as a stick to beat ourselves over and over at the head with multiple times a day. Or whatever we do sometimes use our goals for, to like motivate ourselves. In my experience, some people really respond to that. They love the stick. If you're thinking carrot and stick, where's the carrot? If you're the donkey, is it a donkey? I don't know what it is. You like, is the carrot or the stick? I just prefer not to like use the stick on myself, because what is a goal for anyway? It's for you. Is you made it up yourself from your head. No one else cares, genuinely. They really, really don't. Your business coach, I hope, cares. The person you're paying money to help you do something cares, but no one else really in the whole world actually knows, apart from you. So it really doesn't matter what the number is, how many zeros are on the end of it. It could be £4, it could be £4 million. I mean, who cares, literally? So the use of it and how you use it is everything. So thinking about that number now, I'm just getting a new piece of paper. Thinking about the number that you said, what do you think is your likelihood you'll get it in your gut from today? If it's you today creating it and nothing changes in 6 months, in 1 year, however long the time frame is, if the only person creating it is you right now, with all the resources, all the support, all the things you need, your family, how you're like, where in your mind does it take you? How likely do you think it is? I would just be very curious about it. Is it like, this is 100% likely? This is like, I can entertain the possibility? Feeling a bit, maybe? Is it thinking like, that's completely out of the realm of possibility, that's pie in the sky, there's no way? Doesn't really matter. Just like, it's just a sense check for you. It's just an internal sense check to be like, what do I really think about that? Now I've seen it out in the world, here in a very safe and closed space where no one is going to tell anyone else or really cares, or, you know, is going to judge you for anything. How does it feel to you? And does it matter if it feels likely or not? Does it really matter? So 75%, awesome. So 75% that like, yeah, I'm 3/4 of me thinks this is going to happen. And there's 1/4 of me that's like, no way. So what's your like percentage belief of like, if I do the things and I do them and I show up and I have that, I keep it in my mind and I don't like do something really silly, like just close my business and go on a cruise. Like if I actually do my business and stay in my business.
I mean, if I win the lottery, then I'm totally taking the cruise.
Amazing. You were like, if I don't win the lottery, I'm 75% sure I can make it by myself. Awesome. I like the probabilities on that. 99.9, Pete, bossing it. What's the 0.1% then? You're muted.
Oh, two says, I say it's what they put on bleach bottles, 99.9%.
Known to kill all harmful thoughts. I love that. On a bleach bottle. That's amazing. 99.9%. You're like, this is dead cert. Is that what the thought you're having? Like, this is in the bag.
I think your goals are 100% achievable. It's just how you get there. Obviously, there's so many variables, but I'm just throwing it out there that that's what I want to aim for. And then it's up to me to navigate getting there and be in this group for help.
Yeah, that's really good. I love that. I'm totally borrowing the bleach analogy, by the way. That's my favorite thing that I've heard about believing new things. I just want to be like a bottle of bleach. Oh dear. 95%. Amazing. And again, there's like, this isn't information that's useful to anybody else. Yeah, I think so. Showing up for yourself. So it's just about how you create the environment. It really is the environment where this is going to have its biggest chance of becoming real. An environment means people, it means stuff you're reading, like we talked about last week, who you're speaking to, who you're listening to, the teachers you choose. That is your environment. It's your mental and physical environment, quite literally. So I think a lot can be said for environment, just straight out the gate, without even having to work hard at thinking something and kind of doing mental gymnastics to get yourself into more of a belief. It's really hard work to do that. I've tried it both ways. An environment trumps mental kind of rigor every time, because like you can sit around and try and convince yourself of something for a really, really, really long time. And sometimes it doesn't work.
Meg,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
When you speak about environment, what do you actually mean? Sorry, I missed a little bit. I had to go.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah.
See my daughter. She's all right now. Are you talking about the people around you? Are you talking about everything around you in your environment? So like your peer groups, your family, everything in your day-to-day, basically.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it has to be, because the way that we create businesses and money and goals is with our entire physical bodies and brains.
Yeah.
So your environment is really everything that feeds into that. Is what you're reading. It's like your diet of information. It's like your surroundings of information that people are around you, what they're saying and what they're believing. Because have you noticed, like, beliefs are kind of like, crappy beliefs is kind of like rain. If it's raining a lot and people are talking about all the same stuff a lot, it kind of gets on you, unless you've got a rain
yeah
or a big ass umbrella. where you're like, I'm safe and dry under my umbrella.
Yeah.
Be around
okay.
people who are like spraying their terrible thoughts around, and it doesn't really, it kind of bounces off me. It's harder to do.
Yeah.
It's much easier to put yourself in environments and around people who think kind of the things you want to be thinking and believing. Like, it can be easy to make money. I can really enjoy my business.
Yeah.
So it's environment for me is all of the things.
And environment, do you think environment tops mindset, or do you think my environment is just it feeds your mindset so much that the two are so interlinked that
I think they're two so like together, and I think thinking about them separately is where so many of us can get really tangled up in knots, because it's like my mindset must think good things.
Yeah.
It's like really hard to think good things if your kids are screaming and chucking shoes at each other's heads. And I mean, just for a friend, just saying this.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like, why give ourselves an uphill struggle on the mindset and then again use it as something against us, and for other people to be like, maybe it's your mindset, which feels a bit judgy to me.
Yeah, thank you, Meg. Makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So it's like your environment, internal environment, is really what you're looking after, and external, like being in a nice place, having a little fancy thing that you drink your coffee from, just little things. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. That's the thing that I think is really important. It's all about what is happening internally for you when you notice you've done something nice for yourself, or you ask someone to do something nice for you. It's just that, like, kind of elevating your own whole day, basically.
Just a little step I did for this a couple of years ago with my business was to kind of sort my workspace out, and I found that really helped with getting clients, and because I felt organized and ready to work rather than sharing my office space with somebody else, and it was just cramped and horrendous and couldn't think straight. So it's that kind of thing, isn't it? That's
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, think about the space that you have, physical space, but really most importantly, mental space. And the two can exist. It's easier to have mental space when you do physically have space. Just from my perspective, but I know that having mental space far trumps physical space. I could be in a broom cupboard right now, wouldn't bother me. Not living in the broom cupboard necessarily. I mean,
are you Harry Potter?
But like having this conversation, I ran my business from my old house, and we did not have an office space. And I know lots of people during COVID had exactly the same thing. We're running businesses from home with the little space that we can kind of pilfer off of our families to be like, this is mine. Sometimes we don't get that actual space, physical space that's just ours. So it does help to have it, definitely. And it helps to feel organized and feel settled and feel like, I'm in charge here. This is my area. No one's going to come and mess up my stuff. Sometimes we don't have it as entrepreneurs, especially if you're parents. If you have kids who are, they come in, they wake up, if you've got a partner who needs to use the space, and sometimes we can't afford to like rent fancy offices. It's just, so it's whatever you can do internally, mentally, that's going to support you for thinking space. And that helps all the other things. So maybe it's like a bit of a takeaway to just look at your calendar and just think, right, I've got this goal of X amount of money. have I created space to think about it, really think about it, and kind of make space mentally and physically to plan, to think about it? Because I knew that I wasn't making any space for thinking, and I was just on the kind of running really fast and thinking, if I run a bit faster, I can make more money. And it was like the opposite thing completely. So I'm just curious if anyone wants to share any thought or insight based on that, if anything's like come up for you that you're like, oh, this needs to change, or there's something in my calendar that isn't necessary for this next 6 months. Could be anything. It could be like laundry. Do you know what I mean? It can be anything. It can be, it's not necessary for me to do X, Y, Z. Where can I carve out time to think if I really am committed to the business and I really do want it the way that I want to do it, which is however you want to do it, which is completely up to you. You do have to like create the space and the time. You have to carve it out. Yeah, Vic.
So I don't ever do meetings with clients on a Monday anyway. So I'm thinking I'm just going to take the Monday to work on getting websites sorted, getting my systems and processes and the procedure and everything that you were talking about last week set up and planned out. So Monday to kind of the rest of October to kind of get all that solidly done.
Nice.
So I can kind of hit the ground running and hopefully get like a practice client in before Christmas.
Yeah, nice. So then it's just like, okay, so I've got Mondays to think. And then when am I going to be doing? Because there's different brain processing that happens if you're a solopreneur. It's like the thinking, the CEO like strategy. Let's think about 3 years, 10 years, wherever we want to go. Then there's the doing, the implementer, the person who actually just gets this stuff done. So you kind of have to, you're wearing all of the hats at the moment, so you have to put in different blocks of time.
Do you think they can be on the same day, or do you think I need a couple of days in between to?
I really don't know for you, because it's really different. It's such a personal thing for everyone.
Yeah. So
just play. I think the best advice is just play with it and just see what works best.
Yeah. I think it's important to follow your natural rhythm. So, for example, like I really struggle with Mondays. I'm sure lots of people struggle with Mondays, but it's a real thing for me. From when I was a kid at school, I hated Sundays afternoons, but knowing that you had to go to school, and I think there's even a name for it nowadays, like that feeling, you get that dread feeling of going back to school. I still get that on Sunday evenings at the weekends. So now I just block out Monday to be like a creative day. So it's when I do my artwork, it's when I get really creative. And because that's my passion, Mondays are now a full working day, whereas before, like I was just procrastinating, didn't want to do anything. The kind of day I did things, but they kind of got wasted away. So now I'm kind of like learning my own, working with my own mind, really, because some of these things are so ingrained that sometimes it's hard to change things. You just need to learn how to manage them and live with them. That's at least my small learning.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And it's different for everyone. So there is like, I could give you what works for me, and you might look at it and be like, this seems completely nonsensical. Because it's not the way that your brain operates at its best. So it's just like, the more you know that about you, and like, what do I naturally love doing? gardening or like walking, or where do you get your best ideas? In the shower, or I don't know, wherever. And just be like, okay, why does that put me in such a great state of being? Why do I love, I love water. So anything that's like me and water, just my favorite thing in the world. So anything that's to do with water, I'm like, I'm in. Beach, shower, bath, I don't really care. It's just going to be fun for me. So yeah, whatever your kind of best state, what creates the best state of being and mind for you, playing with your kids, or like doggy walking, being outside. Maybe it's listening to deep Metallica thrash, I don't know, whatever floats your boat. It's literally your jam. Just like, what is that for me, and how can I get into that state of being on purpose, if that makes sense. You can listen to 5 hours of hardcore electronic dance music 100%, but it might not be scalable as like a CEO if like you have to do it to have an idea. But like, it's just, again, just those little bits of knowledge about yourself and what makes your brain work with you, what helps you work with your brain instead of against it. But any questions on this? Anything that's coming up from like a strategic point of view, a like, what order do things go in? Now I've got a goal, thinking about making the money. What comes next? Like, what's the next question that's coming up in your mind? If you're like, okay, 50% likely it's going to happen, I can work with 50%. Like, you don't need to be 100%, just so you know. You can work with 50%. A lot of people work with less than 50% and they make a ton of money. How is that possible? So 50% is awesome.
I think it's better to be honest as well, because I could put down 99% as well. But if I don't feel like it, then I'm not going to get any benefit from the group and the help that I probably do need, really need, that I need, which is a lot to do with confidence, mindset, imposter syndrome. This is kind of I know where I think I know where my kind of downfalls are coming out. So it's quite a lot of learning, isn't it? A lot of learning, developing, testing, seeing what the most kind of mistakes and things that are happening over and over again, and just having a deeper look at those. So that's why I'm on 50. But I am still very confident. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah, and the more truthful you are with yourself, is the faster you're going to be able to create a result. So this is where we run into ourselves over and over again. It's because we think we have to be believing it more for it to become possible and real. It's just not true. You can believe it 50% of the time. If 50% of the time in your business you're like, I think I can do this, it's enough. The other 50% you can be like, holy shit on a bike, I don't know what's going on. Excuse my French. And it's still fine. But if you're at 10%, I think this is possible, you're just going to be fighting and fighting and fighting. The 90% of the time you're spending walking around in disbelief and impossibility, not possibility. That's just going to be a much harder road. So if you can get up to 30, 40, 50, and just be super honest with like, today I'm at a 12% belief, and that's okay. Because I know how to create more of it by literally the little tricks and hacks that I've taught myself. That's all it is. So I think the more honest you are with exactly where you are today, the quicker it is going to be to help yourself and to not make it mean anything. Because I have days when I'm like 0% belief. and they're like terrible. And I'm like, I'm not going to force myself to do anything today. I'm just going to watch Netflix and feel bad. But I don't allow myself to stay there for like 3 months. That would just be 3 months of just wasted time, really, if I do want to grow a business. So I allow it to be there, but not to just be there forever. Yeah, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of around this, I think, like after like doing the kind of sales series last week, I feel like 100% confident in my product offering. But you know, I'm 100% sure that I'll get client results. But it's getting that value across to clients. And I feel like the challenges for me is finding where my ideal clients hang out, and also standing out in that saturated market as well. So they're the kind of things I'm really looking into at the moment.
Yeah. And what have you come up with so far, like in answer to those questions? What's been kind of surfacing if you ask yourself, okay, where are the people and how do I stand out more from all the other people doing SEO?
Yeah, well, I mean, initially I tried to, well, not tried, I went with my branding as more like a bespoke digital marketing company. You know, not looking to have like 200 clients on my books, just look after, say, 20 clients and deliver the quality rather than quantity approach. And just try and be that, like, you know, honest SEO services, you know, deliver value, get return on your money, and along them lines. But after last week, I think I've really been trying to break down the value offering into like kind of packages, so it's clear from me and from anyone looking that, oh right, I get it straight away and what they get out of it. So that's, I'm kind of like 80% kind of done working on that. Been dipping in and out for the last couple of days, but finding where the ideal clients hang out, I'm literally just starting to look, because I think that's important. So
yeah, awesome. So this is the work. It's just like those questions, that's the work. Yeah, how do I stand out and how do I communicate the value? That's it. It can be as easy as that. And it's just like, it's kind of like just simplifying it down. I was saying this to a client on Monday. I was like, you're a translator. I just want you to put yourself in the shoes of a translation expert. You know your business and the offer and how amazing it is for them. And just pretend they don't know anything about SEO. Pretend that they are walking down the street and there's someone who has a business, but the word SEO, they wouldn't even know what it stands for. So it's just a translation problem. Like, how does that person, what do they care about? And what do I need to say so that they're like, oh, I get it now. I can make that make sense in my brain, even if I don't know what any of the words mean, don't know what optimization means, don't know what a search engine is, but that makes sense to me because Pete made it really simple and clear.
Yeah, that's part of the thing. I try not to use jargon, industry jargon, just throw it aside. Yeah, it's which is why I go down the line of, like, you know, I just help improve your website, get you found in Google, get your calls.
Yeah, because that's what they want.
Yeah.
So this will make you laugh. I had a when I tried to explain what coaching was, has anyone had this? Trying to explain what coaching is to their parents or family or elderly parents? That was a gas. It was amazing. My brother, who works in payments for a bank, was like, oh, it's SEO. He's like, it's not remotely SEO. What are you talking about? He's like, you're selling SEO. And I was like, no, I'm not. It's coaching. He's like, I don't understand this. How How can you charge money for something that is not a product, basically? It was so confusing to me and to him, and I couldn't explain it. And he still thinks I do SEO. I'm like, yeah, awesome, I do SEO. I'm first clue about SEO. But it's just the translation problem. He's over in his world where all the people talk about technical stuff. I'm over in my world talking about coaching and helping people do things in their lives. And it was just like, rah, rah, robot miscommunication. So if you can translate your thing for your clients so well, doesn't matter, like they don't need to know any of the like how it works. Essentially, they're just like, oh, I get this person helps me understand that I'm going to get this result, and I trust them, and they make a lot of sense, and it seems really simple. Thank you for sharing. I think that was really helpful. Okay, we have 4 minutes left. Any other thoughts, questions, noodlings?
I think just to follow on from that point, I don't know if I'm just anyway. I think to follow on from that point, I think that it really helps with the communication, doesn't it? Which is, I think, what you were saying last week. Like if you're sending out messages, make sure it's a consistent message, so people, when they go to you, they know exactly as you say, they know what they're going to get because it's the same message over and over again. Like for example, mine is art and mental health. Art can improve. Obviously, it doesn't solve mental health problems, but it can, it can make your environment healthier, as we were like the physical environment healthier, and it can help him aid mental health if you've got a nice environment and you work in a nice or live in a nice environment. So I guess it's just that repetitive message that I can help you do this again and again and again and again and again until you're almost like the person that has drowned out everybody else. And then when someone thinks, I need some new artwork for my office space, Natasha, because hers is like with environmental psychology, she thinks of feng shui, she thinks of lots of different angles to make my space kind of complete. Cool. I think I'm on the way.
Yeah, so good. My husband's waving through the window. Don't know what he wants. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think, and then the second question from that is like, so you're known for these amazing things, these values, this end result that is, feeling great and being sustainable and having a healthy workplace. And then it's like, great, who are the people who really value that too? Who values that? And who is actively making that their priority? Those are your easiest clients. When the end result matches your value and your end result is like sustainable, beautiful, well-being things, interiors, and you need to find the people who it's like, right, number one priority for this workforce is that our employees are productive and feel less stress. That's a beautiful match, result and need match. You can educate other people, but if it's not their top priority, they won't hear it. They won't listen, they won't pay attention, and that's fine. It's not a problem. So you're a barmaid. So Vicky's a barmaid in her business. Awesome. Because that's their language. They're like, oh, she's a barmaid. Of course, she's an online entrepreneur, but actually she's a barmaid. Makes more sense. They just didn't understand it. It's fine. Oh, I love it. Okay, we're on time. Thank you so much for our first session. This has been fun. Yes, run off, go do your things. I'm going to send the recording into the thing. I'll see you next week, and I will see you then. Have a really good week. I'll see you next week.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. See you later.